Welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. We have the 2020 feature, sports with Brian Camp, and entertainment news with DJ Pete. So settle in with coffee in hand, and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Hi everybody, and welcome once again. It's Friday, TGIF, thank God, and we are here for another Friday morning here. We're coming to you live from New York City. Welcome aboard to another edition of the Coffee Hour. My name is Frank Allan. Thank you so much. And every week at this time, we come along to enhance your coffee hour. A lot of you are getting started for your day. Some of you are just waking up. Some of you are going to bed. Some of you are just coming home from work, and depending on your time zone. However, we're glad that you're here with us, and we invite you to stay with us for the entire hour because we have so much to do and so much to talk about for this little hour. We get together each Friday at this time. And of course, as long as you're out there, we're going to be here for you. And those of you who are just getting started to work right now, maybe you're at the hour that we are because we're on the Eastern time zone. And so it's after 10 o'clock where we are, and maybe the same way where you are, or maybe you're an hour later than us, an hour earlier than us. Anyway, you're probably at work if you're in those particular time zones. So therefore, you're probably somewhere around your coffee hour. So this is where your coffee hours is at this point. Then we invite you to take it. But you don't have to walk around the office and talk to people. You can sit here and watch the show. Take that 15 minutes with us, and then when that 15 minutes is over and you have to get back to work, you'll still be at your desk, at your computer, and you can multitask, watch us, and work at the same time. So we're always glad to have you aboard with us. Later on in the program, we're going to do the normal things. We are going to have the 2020 feature that's coming up. That's 20 past the hour. Brian Camp will be here from Charlotte, North Carolina. We're going to link up with him over there. And he's going to come in and do the latest developments in today's world of sports. The name of his show is called Sports Update. And 20 to the hour, DJ Pete, we're going to link up with him from Portland, Maine. And he's going to be here, and he's going to bring you entertainment news and give you all of those birthdays of the people who are celebrating this week. And he'll recite them of all of those people of notoriety. So all of that's coming up. And also later on in the program, too, we're going to give you, of course, that information that we do each week to enhance your weekend. If you want to catch up on some movies, well, I have a few to add on to your list of movies that you may want to catch up with. Those are those classic movies from Turner Classic Movies. So all of that is coming along. And of course, you're there. And if you're there, of course, you're watching us live. We're coming to you from Facebook Live. And we're also on Instagram, coming live. And we're also on YouTube. Now, if you're watching us on Facebook at this particular moment, you can do the quick thing. It's quick and easy, and you don't even have to blink an eye. You can stay right there with us. All you have to do is tag all of your friends. Tag your friends, let them know that we're on the air. They'll see that information. They'll click it on. They'll join us immediately, and they'll find out you're out there, and we're here. They can talk to you, and they talk to me, and talk to other people who may be in the room. And if you are watching us on YouTube, we invite you to go to our YouTube channel. You're right there right now. Go there and subscribe to us, because when you subscribe to us, that means you'll be in touch. And every time we post something live or we post a video or some sort like that, and you happen to be online, you'll see that notification right there, and you can click right onto it. It'll take you right there immediately. And those of you who are watching us on Instagram too, thank you for being with us. And all you have to do is follow us each week. So I see a lot of people are in, and they're right there. And the people on Facebook, I see a few people are idle. That's okay too. You'd rather not say anything. We would love to hear from you. That's okay. But as long as you're with us, that's okay. And a lot of people do like to sit idle and watch the show without saying anything, but that's okay too. And for those of you later on in the program, we're going to give you information. I have my email address and my telephone number, how you can get in touch with us personally. And you want to make comments, suggestions, and ideas. All of that's happening. You don't want to do it live. That's okay. But thank you so much for being with us on the show. And so let's get started with the show right now, right? Because what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So excuse me while I shoot up. That's delicious. That's delicious. That's great. That's great. That's the first jolt of the day. I like to have that first jolt of the day. Great coffee. I hope you're having yours with your coffee hour and watching us at the same time. Well, it's been a long week, and I tell you, it only seems like yesterday since we've been here with you guys. That's how fast the week goes. But, what can I tell you? We're here for another week, and we're going to savor the moment while we're here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching us right now, so stay with us and tell your friends, as I said, tell your friends right now, bring them all in. Bring them all in. We would love to have them all in with us, because we're coming from all of those places that you enjoy, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, and all of those great things. And we'll tell you more about the communications on how to get in touch with me a little later on. First off, I want to say, give my, regards out to Dr. Jill Biden. That's Joe Biden's wife. That's our president's wife. Jill Biden, you already heard by now, she had tested positive for COVID-19. I'm assuming that she's doing well right now. She's staying in isolation, and she's somewhere in South Carolinas or the North Carolinas, one of those places. She's staying there until she gets at least 2 tests that will come back reading negative. And when that happens, we're hoping that happens pretty soon, maybe in a day or 2, who knows. And then when that happens, she'll be able to come back to Washington, D.C., along with her husband, who just got back. And when he got back immediately, went on the air and started signing this new bill that's going to be beneficial to a lot of senior citizens who have prescription drugs. Your drugs will be cheaper now. I don't know when all of this is going to start to kick in. They say it's going to take a while before it kicks in. But those of you who are seniors and take prescription drugs, you're going to find out later on, they're going to be cheaper for you as you go along. And in some cases, you don't have to pay at all. Your insurance company will pay for them. But that's the way it goes. And so since he done that, I hope, by the way, that will boost his ratings as far as his population. Because his popularity has gone down tremendous, and tremendously, I should say, and it's gone down a lot. We just hope this elevates it just a little bit, and hopefully they will do more things that will elevate it more and more and more. And so we thank you, Joe Biden, for that, what you did there, and we hope that helps you out. Now, going back to Jill Biden, his wife, we hope that she's doing fine just as well. And that reminds me to tell you that you should take your shots. And if you're up to date with your shots, then there shouldn't be a problem. And even, let's say, for instance, if you test positive for COVID, chances are you will not wind up in a hospital or on a ventilator or anything like that, like it happened in the early days before the shots came along. Fewer and fewer people are in the hospital due to COVID. So we hope that you are up to date with your shots. I understand that they're coming out with another booster shot, but right now, if you're up to date right now, it shouldn't be a problem. You just hang in there and try to stay away from places where, are secluded. And if you are in there, like bars, restaurants, and going through bus terminals and train terminals and things like that, always wear your mask. If you're on the outdoors, then I understand, people don't want to continue to wear their mask the whole time they're outside. So outdoors, they just take them off and put them in their pockets until they have to go into another secluded place, and then you put it on. That's the safe way to do it. It's simple. It's simple. It's not like it was when we first started this whole COVID-19 thing. We had to keep our mask on at all time, even when you were outside. People were even distancing themselves, even when they were walking the street. And, they shut down the cities. A lot of cities, I know here in New York, was shut down. It was like a graveyard out there. Even when you went to Times Square, which is one of the busiest places that you can go. And when the tourists come into town, it gets really busy out there. It was shut down completely. It looked like It was just like no one was there, the end of the world or something. But we bypassed all of that. Everybody's taking shots, hopefully, and that everything will be okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, a few minutes from now, maybe in about another 10 minutes from now, we'll start our 2020 feature. We'll start with Brian Camp, and he'll be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports. Last week at this time when we were here, we were telling you about actress Anne Heche. Anne Heche at that particular time last week was in a coma in a hospital in Los Angeles, California. She got into a car accident and she never came out of that coma. Well, today, and you already know about it because it's old news now, but when we were here the last time, she was still on the life support. But she's no longer with us. She passed away. The family decided they were going to pull the plug because they didn't see any way her coming out of that coma. And so Anne Heche has left us at the age of 53. She left her, I think she had 2 sons, right? She had 2 sons and left them. And when she went into that car, that was some car accident. She ran right into a building. I believe it was a private house or something. And then when that car ran into that house, it all engulfed in flames. But luckily, the people who occupy that house or that building weren't there at the time. And if they were there, they got out, in time. So that's what happened there. And in other news too, we're not a news bureau or anything. We just like to bring out things that you hear in the news, and we like to give you updates on what's happening. The British writer Salman Rushdie. Salman Rushdie, all about him. He's a British writer, wrote a lot of books. Last Friday, he was getting ready to go on stage and make a speech, make some kind of presentation, and some guy went up on the stage and stabbed him in the neck. The good news now is that he is off the ventilator. He's still alive. He's off the ventilator. I'm not sure what the condition is at this particular point, what it is right now. So I don't want to go beyond what I'm saying right now about his condition, but he's off the ventilator. And they say that he could lose an eye. So we will have to keep our eye on that and see what happens there. But he's off the ventilator, and that's good. Now, the accuser has pleaded innocent. I don't know how that's going to work for him, but he pleaded innocent in the court of law just yesterday. So we're going to be following that story, and I'm sure you will. I'm pretty sure over the weekend we'll learn more and more about it. But I don't see any way out for him because it was right there. Videos don't lie, still pictures don't lie, right there in black and white and live and living color, right there, and they can't lie. It was right there. So we keep our prayers for Salman Rushdie. And I never read any of his literature. I never read, so I can't talk too much intelligence about, I can't talk that much about him. Not tell it intelligently, because I never read any of his literature. Maybe I should now, I don't know. But I understand that he has written some of the stuff that he had been writing over the years was very controversial. And I understand it was 30 years under this these threats on taking his life. He was under that microscope for 30 years. So I don't know what's in his book for make people to trigger off like that. The only thing I do know about him is that he was an atheist, which has nothing to do with anything. Has nothing to do with anything. And the reason why I know that is because I saw him on an interview some time ago, and he mentioned the fact that he was an atheist. But maybe people got sore with that. I don't know. That's no reason. That's definitely not a reason. People have to make their choices. You're a believer or you're not a believer. It doesn't make you a bad person if you're not a believer. It only makes you an atheist, and that's all that is. And one of the things that a lot of people do, they kind of want to judge people because of their beliefs or non-beliefs. All right, now take the atheist for an example. For years and years and years, people have been saying, oh, atheist, he's going to go to hell. You know, he's a product of Satan. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. It only means that he and she doesn't believe. You don't believe. You're a Christian, you're a believer. You're a Muslim, you're a believer. You go to the synagogue and pray, you're a believer, you know. But if you don't, and some people are believers, but they don't go to churches and synagogues or anything like that. They just call themselves spiritual, but they do believe, but they just don't participate in any one particular religion, but they do believe. So, you know, people make their choices. That's how people make their choices, whatever their choices are. But anyway, we're going to keep, even though he's an atheist, I'm going to personally continue to pray for this man. I hope he comes out as good as he can be and go back to doing what he was doing as good as he can be. And we'll just hang on to all of those thoughts, and his family and all of the people that surround him on a daily basis. It's coming up to 16 minutes past the hour. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. My name is Frank Allen, and ladies and gentlemen, excuse me while I shoot up. That's delicious. Now, for those of you, ladies and gentlemen, who are going to chime in conversation, I hope you do. I hope you say hello and come out and say hello to everyone. But those of you who are going to chime in conversation, I'm going to ask you a favor. You know, it's not mandatory. Some people do it, some people don't. But if you come in and you want to talk, you know, let us know where you're from. We would love to know. That's important to us. We want to know where you're watching this. You can be somewhere overseas. We're all around the world. We're global, and we're all over there. And if you're watching us from a lot of places outside of where we are right now, we would like to know your weather forecast. You have a weather forecast you can give us, because we want to convey that to other people. Now, if you're living in New York City, and I'm not saying New York State, because certain parts of New York State experience different weather than New York City. But if you're in the New York City area, don't worry about it. I will take care of all of that right now. I will read the report. But for the rest of you who are coming out here and you're going to say something, and we hope there's something nice that you have to say, please give us your weather forecast. We would love to hear that and find out what it is. Because right now here in New York City, we have 79 degrees. It's 79 degrees outside right now. And the weather for the weekend, it doesn't look bad at all. Doesn't look bad at all. This is what we have so far at this particular moment. We have partly cloudy skies. That's where it's going to be partly cloudy skies. We're going to have a high 89 degrees. Winds will be south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Mainly clear tonight. We'll have a low 71 degrees. Winds will be south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And but that's for Saturday. That's for Saturday. I went ahead of myself. I got to read the Friday, today's weather forecast. I read Saturday, so I didn't have the prompted down a little lower. Anyway, for today, it's going to be sunny skies to partly cloudy skies, high 89 degrees. Winds will be south-southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. For tonight, revision of what I said earlier. I read the wrong one. But for tonight, it's going to be partly cloudy skies early. We'll give way to cloudy skies and we'll have a low to 73 degrees. Winds will be south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So now we go back to what we were before. Saturday, it's going to be partly cloudy. We'll have a high 89 degrees. Winds will be south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. For Saturday night, mainly clear skies, low 71. Winds will be south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And the outlook for Sunday, as we wrap up our weekend and get ready to head back to the grind, it's going to be partly cloudy, slight chance of rain. Showers will develop, and we'll have a high around 84 degrees. Winds will be southeast at 5 to 10 to 15 miles per hour. So repeating our current temperature, we have 79 degrees out there, and the weekend does not look bad at all here. So if you want to do any outdoor activities, you will be in the right order of it, and you can do that. And make sure that whatever you do it on the safe side. If you're going to do any indoor things, and you don't know the people that are surrounding you, please wear your mask. All right, wear your mask. If you're going to be around family and friends and you know that everyone is fully vaccinated, and you get a pass on that, obviously. You know, they say you can do that. You could, be maskless, but do everything in moderation. Do everything on the safe side. That's the way it is. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, again, you're just joining this very moment, right? Okay, it's the coffee hour. And we thank you so much for being along with us. But right now, we are going over to Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte, North Carolina, we're going to find out what his weather forecast is. He's here each week at this time. He's part of the 2020 feature with the latest developments in today's world of sports. There's Brian Camp right there. I told you we could keep up together. We do this each week.
Yes, we do. We do this every week. I was just into this here show called First Take with Stephen A. Smith about this Deshaun Watson thing. It's getting heated with Chris Mad Dog Russo and Stephen A. Smith and two other women that's on the panel. Let me just get right to it. Deshaun Watson was given a 11-game suspension for his for what happened with the massage thing. The NFL and the NFL Players Association, they reached an agreement yesterday in the case of the disciplinary matter, agreeing that the quarterback would serve 11 games. Now the NFL wanted to give Watson a full year, but they both sides, the union and the NFL, agreed to let's just do it for 11 games without pay, and he has to pay a $5 million fine. Over 2 dozen women have claimed accusations that he was appropriate touch, that they were appropriate touched and everything. The New York Times has stated it was at least 66 women within a year and a half time in an 18-month period that have come forth. No criminal charges was made, but a civil suit was made. So all the women just about was settled. But the heated discussion is, was he remorseful or was he not? And that's where we was at. And it was getting heated. This news came down yesterday. So that's where we are. But good morning to you. Good morning to everybody out there. It is 77 degrees out here, very cloudy out here in the Queen City. Chance of rain later on, but it's been cloudy the last couple of days with little sprinkles from here and there. So that's where we're at right now with the wet weather. In other news in the NFL, Chuck Hawley, Joe Klecko, and Ken Riley are the finalists for the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2023. They will get into the Hall of Fame if they supported by at least 80% of the voters are in. So they are going to vote sometime soon. They are the finalists, and that ain't yet, but they would handpick to be the finalists to be there. The NBA, we got 5 Christmas games coming up for the NBA coming up for Christmas Day. The champion Golden State Warriors, who just won the title, will host and face the Memphis Grizzlies on Christmas Day. It will be the Grizzlies' first time ever, first appearance playing on Christmas Day on the big stage. The rest of the schedule will have the Philadelphia 76ers coming into Madison Square Garden in New York City to play against the New York Knicks. Then you have the Milwaukee Bucks, where they will travel to Boston to play the Boston Celtics. The Dallas Mavericks will host the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Phoenix Suns will be on the road to play against the Denver Nuggets. Time and channels will come at later time. So let's be ready for that. Stay on the NBA. The NBA will be off on election day. They will not play any games on that day for election day for this coming season. In fact, all 30 teams will be playing the day before or the night before November 7th. This is for the midterms elections. This is what the NBA is doing. They want to gather all people to vote, in this election, because this is a very important election, believe it or not. It's not the presidential, but it's for midterms. And the midterms is just as important voting for the president. Yes, I'm going to say that again. The midterms is just as important. So they're encouraging fans to and to try to amplify their civic engagement. But on November 8th, which is election day, no NBA games will be scheduled. All 435 U.S. Senate House seats will be up for grabs in November, along with more than 30 U.S. Senate seats. And gubernatorial races will be at hand. So it's important. Be ready. Vote right. Vote smart. Okay. This thing in sports, August 19th. There's a story that I want to leave for last, but I want to say this here. 1921, Detroit Tigers Ty Cobb is the fourth player to get 3,000 hits versus the Boston Red Sox. He's the youngest player to ever do that, the youngest. 1957, the New York Giants Board of Directors voted 8-1 to move their team to San Francisco in 1958. Yes, so in 57, they voted 8-1. The following year, they all moved 3,000 miles to the city of San Francisco. 1983, LSU running back Billy Cannon sentenced to 5 years for counterfeiting. 1995, Mike Tyson returns to the ring after serving 3 years in prison on a DQ, a disqualification against Peter McNeely in 89 seconds of the first round. Now, this story that I want to get to, back in 1911, I don't know if any of you ever heard called the Blue Laws. Well, 1911 Sunday benefit baseball game at New York City's Polo Ground resulted in John McGraw and Christy Matheson arrested for violating the Blue Laws. Now, what the Blue Laws stands for is religious reasons to observe a day for rest or worship rest. It means no shopping, no secular activities. You got to respect the Sabbath day. In New Haven, Connecticut, the work was printed on blue paper. That's why it's called the Blue Laws. Now, what I have here, it still exists in many states: Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Louisiana, Maine, Minnesota, Missouri, Oklahoma, New Jersey, North Dakota, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. Dealerships continue to operate under the Blue Laws, but prohibits from purchase or trades on a Sunday. So that's a Sunday where you have to respect the laws and, religious beliefs and everything. They still have it. They still have it to this very day, but that was something else during that time where they were prohibited from doing things. This thing in sports, birthdays. 1934, Richard Rankine, known as Renee Richards, tennis great or tennis player, transsexual, born in New York City, New York. 1935, Bobby Richardson, Major League second baseman, was born in Sumter, South Carolina. 1959, Ricky Pierce, NBA guard forward, was born in Dallas, Texas. And 1960, Morten Andersen, NFL kicker, was born in Copenhagen, Denmark. And 1960, Ron Darling, Major League Baseball player, pitcher, was born in Honolulu, Hawaii. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports.
I want to backtrack. I said it last night, but the reason why I want to cover the bases is because I can't remember if I mentioned it on this show or Talk Back Live, or maybe both of them. So for the sake of that, I just want to apologize. And I did this last night on Talk Back Live about mentioning the fact that we know Tommy Agee, former Met, passed away years ago. And I also mentioned the fact that Cleon Jones had passed away, but that's not the fact. Cleon Jones is still alive. As a matter of fact, he just celebrated his 80th birthday in June 24th. He celebrated his 80th birthday. So I just wanted to clear that up, that Cleon Jones is still alive, still well, And I apologize for the misinformation. We have to do that because, we don't want people on our backs, so just wanted to say that. So it's now on record.
Yes, Cleon Jones is very much alive.
Yeah.
He was a very good friend and teammate of Tommy Agee. Both of them were born in Mobile, Alabama.
Yeah.
I think that's the same place where Hank Aaron or Willie Mays were born at. And yes, they are, Cleon Jones, good hitter, clutch hitter for the Mets. He was a major part of the 1969 World Series where the Mets won. And that was a good year for New Yorkers and for the Mets.
Yeah. I used to like to go, even though I'm a Yankee fan, even before I'm a Yankee fan, I'm a baseball fan. And even though I'm a Yankee fan, I used to go to the Mets, watch the Mets at Shea Stadium back then. Shea Stadium.
Yes.
And watch Cleon Jones, and we have guys like Tommy Agee, Ron Clendenin, all of those guys, Choo Choo Coleman. I don't know if you remember Choo Choo Coleman. Choo Choo Coleman was a catch.
I don't remember Choo Choo Coleman, but I remember guys like Tom Seaver, Jerry Kuzman, those Miracle Mets, as they call them in 1969, where they Ron Swoboda. But they're not doing too well along with the Yankees right now. They are in their tailspin. My goodness, both New York teams. And look like we're going to have to hold off on those Subway Series tickets for the month of October for the Fall Classic. The Yankees got hammered, and the Mets lost another tough one. So
well, I'm not going to give up hope because you got to remember these guys came out swinging early in the season. The Mets and the Yankees came out swinging, and they were winning game after game after game. So I'm not going to make any excuses for either team, but they kind of burnt out right now.
And they cooled off tremendously. Yes.
Yeah. So what they have to do is just going to have to sit back, take a deep breath, get into the clubhouse, and figure out what's going on with them physically and mentally, with their mental stages, their physical stages, and kind of clear it up, because they're human beings. All of them are human, and they play. And you got to give it to them. Both teams played great games up until now. So we're going to have to go out. The season is still here, and we're just going to have to go out and figure out what's going on, because I want to see both of those teams play ball in October.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Brian. Well, listen, thanks a lot for that, and we'll catch you back here next week on Talk Back Live for more sports.
Yes, everybody stay safe and be careful. I want to make a new recipe before I go. This Sunday, I'm making on the smoker smoked mac and cheese. Oh boy, I was studying it for 2 weeks. I want to have some short beef ribs. So I'll let you know how it's going to be good.
Why don't you open up a restaurant? You don't have to actually work. You could hire people.
Nah. I'd rather cater. I'd rather somebody say, "Can you make me some of this?" And I'll charge them. Boom. That's it. I don't want to deal with people. I did that for 29 years. I didn't want to do that. Yeah.
Okay. We'll catch you back here next week then.
Enjoy. Be safe.
Okay. That was Brian Kent with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. I let him go because he's got to get to that smoker, because the kind of meat that he puts on that smoker takes like a day before it's complete. So he's got to get out there and do that. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us for this Friday. And we're going to be with you until the top of the hour. That was Brian. He left off with his latest developments in today's world of sports as part of the 2020 feature. 20 past the hour. Now, minutes from now, 20 to the hour, we're expecting the arrival of DJ Pete to come in, and he's going to bring us his part of the feature. And that is, of course, entertainment news and reciting all of those birthdays of people of notoriety for this week. And that's coming up pretty soon. It's minutes from now. Anyway, until that happens, we want to thank you guys for being along with us. If you're watching us again, you're watching us on Facebook. We're on Facebook Live. And those of you who get the opportunity to talk to us, you can do that right now. And we'd love to talk to you. So anytime you want, you have a suggestion, comment, an idea, or maybe you want to horn in on some kind of particular subject that you might want to talk about, we'd be glad to talk about it for you. Now, those of you who are wondering, you can get in touch with me, personally. I'm not a hard man to track down, not these days anyway. And you can track me down because I have an email address and a telephone number that you can take down. If you have any suggestions about the show, or you want to know more about the show or the history about the show or whatever, even just to say hello, you can get in contact with me because I have, again, my email address and my telephone number. Let's start with the email address. The email address is frankallanprod@aol.com. Remember to spell Allan, A-L-L-A-N, or you'll never get through. That's frankallanprod, P-R-O-D, that stands for short for production. That's frankallanprod@aol.com. frankallanprod@aol.com. You can shoot that email anytime you like, even when I'm asleep. You won't disturb me. I won't hear any bells going off or anything like that. It's just that I'll check it later. And of course, I have a telephone number that you can call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It never shuts down. It's always open. And you can always leave a message of any sort. And that number is 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. You can get in touch with us anytime you want, even if it's just to say hello. And now all, of course, feedback, positive, negative, it doesn't matter because we learn from each one. So as long as you're out there feeding that to us, we really would appreciate that. And we appreciate that fully. It would be great to have you do that. So do that right away. And so again, I want to say hello to you guys out there. And there's my people out there on Instagram who are there. And again, I want to tell you guys who are watching us on YouTube. Now, YouTube, we have a YouTube channel. So this show is broadcast on YouTube channel. Now, we're not broadcasting live because right now, until we get a handle on it, it's one or the other. So what we do is that we used to do it live. We used to do both simultaneously live, but see, we're doing now everything through Zoom now. So now it's one or the other until we figure out how we can do it simultaneously. So what we do is we broadcast live on Facebook and Instagram, but later on, we post this entire show on YouTube. And for you YouTubers who get a chance to watch it, it will be there for you. And that's good because a lot of people who don't get the chance to watch the show in real time will get a chance to see it later on. And the same thing goes for Facebook. You don't get the chance to see it on real time, but after the show is over, it's right there on the replay. And you can watch it all the time there as well. So that's how we do things around here. So as far as the YouTube is concerned, we're going to, rebroadcast it a little later on. It's not live. A lot of people, ask, we never see you live on YouTube. You mention it, but we never see you live on YouTube. But we're going to see if we can get a handle on how we can do it simultaneously through Zoom. Because before we were doing it live on Facebook and Instagram at the same time, Instagram and YouTube at the same time. But that was when we weren't doing it through Zoom. And the reason why we just chose to do it Zoom, so we can get DJ Pete and Brian Camp on the air live, as you saw Brian there, because we were able to do that a long time ago with Facebook. But Facebook no longer does that. They don't no longer let us do the double screen. Remember how we used to do that? We used to do the double screen, split screen, right? And you could watch us at the same time, but they no longer do that. I remember when this show started, when we started on Talkback Live, we started radio. It was all audio on Facebook, and they don't do that anymore, unless it's done and I don't know anything about it. But nevertheless, we're not going to look back. So we're visual now, and we're going to stay that way. But that's how they did it back then. That's how we did it back then, and we just keep moving on. And we're going to find a way to see how we can do this live on both Facebook and Instagram. you know, technology gets a little crazy sometimes. It'll let you do it one time and then another time it doesn't, you know, it changes all the time. So we have to keep up with it, but we'll get in touch with you on that. I noticed DJ Pete is not here. I'm trying to figure out why. I didn't hear from him. I hope he's okay. Unless well, let's see. We usually punch him up. It's 20 to the hour right now, and we usually punch him up at this time, but he didn't arrive yet. So we're gonna find out why. Maybe we can give him a call later on and find out what the problem is. Maybe he's en route someplace at the last minute, and because these things happen, you know, things happen at the last minute where sometimes you can't do it. But we're going to give him a call and see how that goes. We'll give that in just a few minutes, maybe in a couple of minutes, we'll give him a call and find out what's happening with him. Okay, just in case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And speaking of coffee, let me take a hit right now. Oh, that's delicious. Okay, now the weekend is coming up, and as you already know, and we're going to do that in just a few minutes. We're going to give you all of the information on Turner Classic Movies, the movies, my picks of the week, and it's for your weekend. Okay, so a lot of you want to catch up on movies. I just want to add a couple of movies to your bucket list of what the things to do and things to watch this weekend, and we'll have that coming up for you. It's all coming up in just a short time or another. So I gave everyone a weather forecast, and so everything is good so far. So you know what I'm going to do? I am going to take the time and call DJ Pete. I'm going to take the time and call DJ Pete right now and find out what the deal is, because usually he's very diligent about getting information to you about his feature. But since he's not here right now, you know, he leaves me to worry. I worry about my guys, you know, when they don't show up. So let's see if we can find him on the phone, get him going. Let's see, trying to find a number here. See if we have a number going. Okay, yeah, I see we have a number. Let's see if we have. Well, we're ringing, you know, one ringy dingy, two ringy dingies.
Hello.
Hey, DJ Pete.
Hey. Hey, Frank. What's up?
How's it going?
I'm not feeling well right now.
Oh, okay. We missed you. We didn't know what happened. We got worried, and we just wanted to find out what was going on.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm all right. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Okay. I hope.
I couldn't sleep well last night, so.
Okay. Well, listen.
I was up till like 5 a.m. trying to go to sleep.
Oh God. Okay.
And so I'm just barely waking up right now.
Okay. All right. Listen. No worry. We got you covered. We got you covered. Right. You take care. Hey, listen. Be well, because you know, when I don't hear from you guys, I worry.
Yeah. Thanks for calling, Frank.
Okay. You take care of yourself. Have a good weekend.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Okay. That's DJ Pete. There you have the answer there. He won't be showing up today. Things happen, you know, at the last minute, you know, and so we didn't hear from him. So now we know that he's alive and well, and we're going to keep the show moving. So here's what I have for you right now in the place of all of that. I have birthdays I want to announce. Birthdays, of course, you guys know that when DJ Pete does his feature, I come up with birthdays. So here's birthdays celebrated today. Here we go. We're gonna make this part of DJ Pete's thing. I'm gonna loan it to him. Okay. Here we go. Singer Christina Perry. Christina Perry is celebrating a birthday today. She's 36 years old. Rapper Fat Joe is 52 today, from the Bronx. Actor Matthew Perry is 53. Actor Matthew Perry is one of the guys that play on Friends, you know, remember him? Okay, he's 53 today. Actress Kara Cedric. Now, Kara Cedric is married to Kevin Bacon. She's an actress, and she's 57 today, so she's celebrating her birthday. Actor Kevin Dillon is 57, celebrating his birthday. Today, actor John Stamos, who played on that sitcom Full House, he's 59 today. He also played in a soap opera too. Can't remember which one. R&B singer Margie Joseph is 72 today. Tipper Gore, the wife of Al Gore, 74. Actor Gerald McRaney, Gerald McRaney is 75 today. And former US President Bill Clinton turned 76 today. Happy birthday, cousin Bill, brother Bill, or daddy Bill, Billy boy. Okay. No longer with us, Edwin Hawkins, a gospel singer, would have been 79 today. Singer Billy J. Kramer from the Dakoters, back in olden days of doo-wop, right there in the Dakoters. He's 79 today. The late Johnny Nash would have been 82, and he's a singer, of course, right? And actress Jill St. John, she's still alive. She's 82 today. Happy birthday to her. Frank McCourt, I should say. Frank McCourt is 92. He's an author. Frank McCourt is an author. And he would have been 92 today. Frank McCourt is the brother of Malachi McCourt. Now, Malachi McCourt was a radio guy one time, and then he had a show a long time ago on WMCA radio here in New York City. And he also did a little acting. As a matter of fact, remember that soap opera, Ryan's Hope? Well, he played the bartender on there. He had a frequent run on that show. And I think he played the part of Kevin. I think his name was Kevin on that show. Malachi McCourt. And Malachi's still, I knew Malachi for a while, you know, because when I was working at a station called WNWK, and he did some broadcasting on there as well. But anyway, his brother Frank McCourt, no longer with us, author, would have been 92. Publisher Malcolm Forbes would have been 103 years old today. And last but not least, jazz artist, the late Eddie Durham would have been 116. I'm familiar with Eddie Durham because I used to play all of his records back when I was a jazz DJ. So those are all the birthdays today. By the way, DJ Pete has a radio show. He has a radio show, and you can catch him on www.radio-airwaves.co.uk. You can catch him there on Mondays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And also you can catch him on www.wmpg.org, or you can catch him on WMPG in Portland, Maine. But, you know, if you can't pick it up in Portland, Maine, or if you can't pick it up outside of Portland, Maine somewhere, you can't pick it up, it's worldwide. Go into the world. They call it the World Wide Web. That's what www is, World Wide Web. It sounds so 80s, doesn't it? The World Wide Web. How do they call it? There were other phrases that you used to do, the internet information highway. Oh, that sounds so 80s. Oh, God. Anyway, you can catch them on www.wmpg.org as well as WMPG Radio. And that's every other Tuesday between 8:30 p.m. and 10 p.m. And all times are Eastern, and it's in the United States and Canada too. So there you go. So he's not feeling well today, so I doubt if you catch him on the air. He's not going to be on the air anyway because he's only on Mondays and Tuesdays. Hopefully, he'll be able to be well enough to go on the air tomorrow, Monday. But in the meantime, you can check him out. Those are the times you can check him out. And in case you're just joining us, of course, the name of the show is called Talk Back. No. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And my name is Frank Allan, and I'm with you every Friday at this time. And we always get together and have a little coffee. And those of you who are watching us on Facebook, we still have a little more time left in the show. And what you can do, you can tag this show to your friends. You can tag the show to your friends right now as we speak and bring them on. And that's a help to us, because that brings us more viewers, more listeners. And you can tag and let them know that we're out here. When they come in, they'll see that notification, they'll tap it on and they'll come out here. It'll instantly bring them out here. And of course, it helps, that way. And they can talk to other people as people talk to you. And those of you who are watching us and you don't want to say anything, that's fine. You're watching us live and you're just with us just to enjoy the show, and that's okay too. And that seems to be the craze. A lot of people don't want to get involved in conversation, and it's okay. It's okay, because basically we just want to keep the show moving and entertain you guys the best way we can. So there you have it. There you have it. But again, we want to wish DJ Pete a speedy recovery. Didn't want to go in detail. We did not do that. Didn't want to ask him what the problem was. He just wasn't feeling good. I will probably talk to him later and maybe he'll expand more. But we wish him a speedy recovery. Hope everything will be just fine with him. Okay. Excuse me while I shoot up. Oh, that's delicious coffee. Ryan mentioned earlier when he was out here about the importance of voting. And like he said, and it's true, the midterms are just as important as the general elections. By the way, in 2 years, we'll be voting for a new president, maybe the same president, I don't know. The point is that we have to vote. And what I want you guys to do, and you have to vote, whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, or whatever party that you indulge in, make sure you look at your candidates, the people that you are thinking about voting for. Make sure you look deep into what's happening. Politics is not like it was years ago. We have to look even deeper and closely and study all of the people who are spending their times endorsing each other. Politicians endorse each other, but we are the last call of whether they get into office or not. And we want to make sure that we know all about them. So therefore, while they're doing all of their PSAs or their commercials, telling you why you should vote for them, study them. Stay on top of what they're doing, on what they're saying, and study them real well. We have to do that with politicians these days. Study them real well, because we don't want something to come up where we vote for them, they're in there, and they do opposite of what they promised to do. All right, especially when it comes to the president, because I didn't put my hand on the Bible, my right hand on the Bible, lift my right hand up in the air and put my left hand on the Bible and said, I promise and I swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States. And then you make a complete turnaround. I don't want to be with you when lightning strikes, put it that way. And so again, maybe make sure you watch out. Now, 2 years from now, we'll be voting for a president, and that's the kicker. We got to watch what we're doing there. Keep in mind what we're doing. Keep in mind, just make sure that we're doing the right thing. But that's another show. We don't have that for 2 years. And when that time comes around, we'll figure it out on what's happening. But right now, we want to figure out who we're sending to Congress and things like that. This is the midterms. We're talking about the midterms. It's very important to do that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are going to be around for the weekend and you're going to be doing a lot of things, and at the same time, you want to catch up on some movies, well, I have my picks of the week. For a lot of you who want to catch up on some movies now, each week, I bring you movies directly from Turner Classic, and they're my picks of the week. And there are a lot more out there that are worth watching, but I only pick mine for the weekend. And so if you're interested in catching up on movies, let me just add 3 of I think I have three today, right? Do I have three? Yeah, I have three. I have three more to add to your bucket list of what to watch this weekend. Okay, let's start out with 1939. Back in 1939, there was a movie called The Women. And I mean The Women because it's an all-woman cast. Everybody in that cast, they're all women. And that's the name of the movie starring Joan Crawford and Rosalind Russell. And you can catch that tomorrow, Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern. That's called The Women. It's a good, I've seen it before. I've seen it before, and it's a good movie. Even back in 1939, you know, women took charge. They had their own movie right there. So I think it's well worth watching today. So check it out. Also, another Joan Crawford movie. Okay, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane? Joan Crawford and Betty Davis on this one. That's the movie when Betty Davis served Joan Crawford some food, served her lunch or dinner, whatever it was. She opened up the cupboard and there was a disgusting little rat there. But watch the movie. It's from 1962 and you can check it out. It's Saturday. That's tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Whatever Happened to Baby Jane? And if you can't get enough of Joan Crawford, this is all Joan Crawford. Here's another one, and this is a good one I like as well. Back in 1945, Joan Crawford and Ann Blythe. It's called Mildred Pierce. Mildred Pierce, and you can check that out on Turner Classic Movie tomorrow as well at 8 p.m. Eastern. So your evenings will be well spent. Now, what I like to do with all of these movies, I do it in a way where they don't overlap each other as far as time go, and you can actually watch each one of these in their entirety. And of course, if you don't get a chance to watch them in real time, you can always DVR them. You can, and watch them at a later time. A lot of people do that because I know a lot of you may have a busy weekend, but you still want to catch up on movies. And this is a good way to do it, DVR them. Now, you can go on Turner Classic Movies and go through the program guide and look at some of the other movies that's available to watch. Just because I picked these three, that doesn't mean that there are not other great movies to be watched on there. You can go there and look and you say, oh, wow, I see that. That's a good movie. I'm gonna watch that. Or I'm gonna DVR that and watch it later, you know? So you can watch all of these great movies. Just go down the line. Turner Classic Movies, the program guide, and you'll see all those great movies, a lot. They're right there. And of course, you could also go on Movie on Demand. There are a lot of free movies there on demand, and you can watch them. They date back to the 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and so forth and so on. And of course, they're up there for a period of time before they take them down and put newer ones up there. But they leave them there for a sufficient amount, an efficient amount of time. And you can watch them at any time you want. That's the good thing about it, as long as they're there. And there'll be movies that you haven't seen in a long time, movies that will jog your memory, and you just want to go down the line and say, oh, I'm going to watch this. 1960s. Movies were great in the 1960s and the 1950s. And just go down the line and see them. They're all right there. Also, if you like the networks, like Lifetime or anything like that, you can check that out and see what's available there. And not only that, you can go there and watch some of the paid movies on pay-per-view. A lot of up-to-date movies there, and you can check that out, and they're all there. And sports, well, if you didn't watch anything in real time, you could always go back the following day, which they posted on there and on demand, and you could watch it, and in some cases without commercials. So there you go. So let me repeat all of these movies that I have for you once again, so you'll know. It's The Women with Joan Crawford, Rosalind Russell. And so I'm turning to Classic Movies. That's Saturday, tomorrow at 3 p.m. Whatever Happened to Baby Jane with Joan Crawford and Betty Davis. That's tomorrow, Saturday at 5:30 p.m. And Mildred Pierce with Joan Crawford and Ann Blythe. And that's on Turner Classic Movie as well. That's tomorrow, Saturday at 8 p.m. I do hope that you get a chance to watch these movies and do enjoy. Okay, that's going to wrap it up for me, ladies and gentlemen. I had a good time. I hope you have as much as I have. We're going to be back here on Thursday for Talk Back Live at 8 p.m. Eastern. I hope you're out there. Brian Camp will be with me along with sports update with the latest developments in today's world of sports. I hope you, and we'll conversate. We'll have a good time. That's every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Other than that, I will be back here next week for more of the coffee hour with the 2020 feature with Brian Camp and DJ Pete. Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports. DJ Pete with information news and reciting all of those birthdays of that particular week of people of notoriety. That's going to do it for me. I thank you guys for being along. I wish you a great day, a great weekend, and I will see you all back here next week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
You've been watching The Coffee Hour with Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistance, Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer, Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Coffee Hour.